Welcome to the Hudson County Show. Pat Amelia here. You're a concerned Hudson County resident. That's why you watch the show, and that's why we do it live. We're live on YouTube. We're live on live stream. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Google TV. Apple TV, Google Chromecast, the Roku system. We're there. Maybe someday I was talking to Optimum about going live, and they're not even close to that yet. So we're live on Channel 190 in Jersey City on Comcast. Maybe Hudson County should probably look at their cable franchises and maybe they go Comcast. I don't know. I'm going to be doing some talking to these cable networks as my contracts expire in May. Bob Menendez is in the game. Bob has announced he is officially running for re-election for the Senate. Did it in his hometown of Union City at the Union City High School that Mayor Brian Stackhead built. For that matter, Brian Stack should be very proud. We did the STEM showcase at the Liberty Science Center, and Union City was well represented there. And I think a lot has to do with that new facility. You know, after McNair, I think it was probably Union City kids. There was a lot of Bayonne kids in there. McNair Academic, it's a #1 school. But, Union City, well represented. Bob is in the race. He's got an opponent who's got some money, so this is going to be a real campaign. Polls show Bob is up by about 17% right now. That could change as things get closer. Now, Bob is a bacon guy. He brings home the bacon to New Jersey. Yeah, I disagree with Bob attacking President Trump. We got to get so many things done. We got to get the tunnels done. We need federal money. The guy is from this area. We have to have a good dialogue with the president. Whether you like him, you hate him, he is there. And if we're going to go with our hands out and we want funding for things, we got to have some sort of a dialogue. You can't go throwing rocks constantly, like what's going on here locally with the HCDL. You can't keep throwing the rocks. We need to sit down and do a little diplomacy, a little horse trading with the President of the United States. And, we got $540 million for the Gateway Tunnel. Now it's up to Jersey and New York to figure out how we're going to fund, the rest of this. And again, it's a long-range funding. I don't think you need to come up with all the money in the first year on something you're going to take 30 years to pay off anyway. Let's get it going. It's going to take, like 10 years or so to get this thing going. You don't need to try to get everything funded up front. How many billions this is, we don't need it now, but we're going to have to come up with it over the next 30 years or so. So that's how long we're going to take to pay this off, as I understand it. And, there's going to be other administrations. Maybe you get administrations that are more favorable, and the chances are you get some that aren't so favorable. That's the risk we take. But right now, flamethrowing the president when we're looking for money probably isn't the wisest thing. But nobody's more in tune to the politics than Bob Menendez. And I strongly recommend we all re-elect Bob Menendez. All right, we're going to break for commercial, then we'll get the show going. We'll be right back. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights. Your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments. Carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712. We're back. You're watching the Hudson County Show, and you're watching it live. You can watch it live on HMG TV shows. That's our main website. You can contact me there. Send me an email if you need something. We're on livestream.com. Download the app. It's free. There's a lot of other programming on it besides us, but we do archive all our shows there. You can tweet me at JC Hudson Media. I'm the easiest guy to get a hold of. If you have some issues, you need some help in the county or your municipality, send me an email. I can help you out. Got some consumer issues? I can help you out. We got later in the show, we got a candidate for mayor, Jason O'Donnell. There's 3 candidates in Bayonne. There's 2 with tickets, and there's one guy who's running solo for mayor in Bayonne, and I don't believe you have any skin in the game if you don't have a whole ticket. Politics in Hudson County is gone nuclear here, and unless saner minds get involved here and sit everybody down, and maybe that's Bob Menendez to do this. Somebody has got to sit down, stack full up the G's Albio series, because the comments and the rhetoric coming out of these people over this political situation in Hudson County, there's no stepping back from. There's going to be no walking away. These comments that are made towards Full Up and what Stack is saying towards the HCDO and Albio saying about Roque and Full Up, there will eventually be a détente. There'll be peace. But the words that are said, they're going to leave scars. So everybody needs to be quiet, get in a room, and figure out what needs to be done. Now, some of the rhetoric, you can't walk it back. So there are going to be casualties here. But it doesn't need to be full-blown that it affects every aspect of Hudson County. We can come to sort of a solution to this, try to appease as many people, and get to the business of Hudson County. People are going to have to realize we got the young bucks in the room, and the young bucks want to be respected, and they want the attention, and they want to see some changes. So the old guard, the new guard's got to figure out a way of working together, even though some of that new guard has been part of the old guard for the last 20 years. There's sides being chosen. If it continues this way, there may be no coming back. So maybe Bob Menendez is the guy that sits everybody down in the room and says, all right, guys, we got to work this out. We got to stop the rhetoric. And that's one way we can solve this. Now, we're going to have Jay O'Donnell in for an interview. You're going to see that. I just want to go over the Bayonne issues. We established a debate for Bayonne, a live debate that'll air on the very channels you're watching right now in Bayonne, except for Comcast in Jersey City. You don't care what's going on in Bayonne for a debate. And we started planning this debate back in January. For that matter, on January the 23rd, I texted Mayor Davis, asking him if he was up for 2 debates. And I was talking to his, his part of his team, people involved, Nick Shabalotti, the assemblyman from Bayonne, about various dates, and should we have 2 when they didn't want to do 2. I wanted to do an early debate and a later debate. Nobody could get together on a date. I couldn't get dates back from the Davis camp. The thing is, Davis doesn't want to debate. Very seldom does the incumbent want to debate, but they eventually do. I've hosted and produced a lot of debates from my days in radio and on at the TV. The incumbent has always been there. And there's always some sort of friction, but the incumbent is always at the debate. I couldn't get any dates from the Davis camp, so I settled on a date, April the 26th, 7 p.m. These cameras will roll. For that matter, the podiums are over there right now. We will have the live debate, and I figure we'll go 90 minutes. I was going to ask a reporter from the Bayonne Jersey Journal, Corey McDonald, who I thought was related to Terrence, to moderate it. But as things started getting back to me about restrictions and how the Davis camp wanted the topics, or the debate would have like one topic, I didn't want to ask Corey McDonald or anybody to moderate and have all these restrictions. Even if we didn't agree to restrictions, people would assume, well, he's not asking that question because it was taken off the table. You can't moderate a debate if people are taking the questions off the table. I've produced and moderated debates with Glenn D. Cunningham, Mayor Fulop, all the top doggies here in Hudson County. I've had them in debates, and never once did any of them say, listen, I want this off the record, I want that off the record. Recently, with Mayor Fulop, he knew he was going to get questions about a tape that was released about trying to steer a contract with some of his former inner circle. He knew that was coming. That came right out as soon as Fulop stepped up to the podium. He knew it there's going to be issues in Bayonne. There are questions that are going to have to be asked. I'm going to moderate that debate now. I am not changing the debate. And the thing is, you can't let the incumbent dictate terms. Because a lot of people say, well, what if Davis doesn't come? You got no debate. Oh, yeah. You have to have the debate, whether the incumbent's there or not. Because it isn't fair to Jason O'Donnell to say, well, we can't have a debate because Jimmy Davis isn't coming. All I can do as producing a debate is to invite people. I can't drag them in. I can't force them in front of those, behind those podiums. I can only set it up. And if Davis doesn't want to debate, that's up to him. You want to give all the time to O'Donnell? O'Donnell will do well with this. But there are questions. And listen, there is one big gorilla in the debate, and that is the sexting from Jimmy Davis. There is a lawsuit against Bayonne right now over a situation between the mayor of Bayonne and this woman who was wrongfully fired, and she's got all these texts. We all heard about it. That is going to have to come up in a debate. You can't have a debate without that question. And I know Davis doesn't want to answer that, but that's it. That would be one of the questions I'm going to ask. Very simple. I'm going to ask, if there is a settlement, and there will be, who pays it? Do the people of Bayonne pay the settlement? You know, figure, say it's $400,000. That's what the mosque just got. Say it's $500,000. Who's paying that? You? The people of Bayonne, or should Jimmy Davis pay that? That's a question I'm going to ask. You're going to have, you know, the abatement issues in Bayonne now. You're going to have redevelopment issues in Bayonne. You got to talk about the revow that's going to start right after this election, basically. The mosque, where was City Hall in the mosque situation that now costs the people of Bayonne $400 million? Where was the leadership out of City Hall? I'm going to ask, you know, what happened here? How would Jay O'Donnell have handled this? You know, the ordinance for out-of-town city employees. You know, the City Hall seemed to be fighting that. You know, the town clerk said, no, it's not legitimate. Well, the judge said it is. If you're going to have employees and people of Bayonne are paying those salaries, yeah, I think they should be city residents. You want to be able to talk to the directors when you see them on the street and explain the problem. You want directors driving through towns and seeing a problem, acting on a problem before the resident brings it up. These are the questions that will be part of that debate, and I'm certainly going to ask them. Whether Jimmy Davis is here or not, there will be a debate. April the 26th, 7 p.m., live. We're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Hudson County Show. We'll be right back.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
The Jersey City Medical Center. You know it for its award-winning, life-saving ambulance service. It's also your health hub, with health and wellness locations staffed with certified professionals all through Hudson County. The Jersey City Medical Center, here to help you with your healthy, here when you need us the most. The Jersey City Medical Center. Visit us on the net to learn more. Jersey City Medical Center, Robert Wood Johnson, Barnabas Health Facility. Let's be healthy together. We're back. You're watching the Hudson County Show as I look for my notes here. I only brought one part of my notes out with me. See, we bring a lot of paper out with us every time we do these shows. And hopefully, yeah, they're on my desk. They're coming right now. They're being handed in. I know I put them in order. There we go. Thank you. You know, Joan Quigley, former Assemblywoman, she's a contributor to the Jersey Journal these days. And she runs the Action Committee in North Bergen, does a fine job there. She wrote about transgender people receiving new birth certificates here in Hudson County, which is interesting. Nobody can use a Hudson County birth certificate as it is now. You know, we had a problem in Hudson County with fraudulent birth certificates. But the state is going to issue transgender birth certificates. And you don't even have to go through the surgeries. You can just identify yourself as female or what. And it got me thinking. I said, well, you know, you can almost start a new identity this way. You get, you know, you don't have to go through anything. You just say, You know, I feel I'm female, or vice versa. You feel you're male, whatever, you know, you feel comfortable with. It's whatever you want to do. And the state, they're working on this legislation now. And I think you can almost start a new identity. Then I got thinking, you know, we need like a reset button, because we help so many before we help the people we should. You know, we have like expungement of criminal records now. We have programs for that. We have, you know, second chance programs for ex-cons where we will go out of our way to try to find employment for these people so they don't go back to jail. You know, we have illegal immigration protections and sanctuary cities doing everything we can to protect the illegal immigrants and dreamers and DACA and all that. And all these things cost money. And I was thinking, you know, maybe we should help the dying-to-wool American people here. A reset button. You know, you take people who suffered from, you know, who are suffering from crushing student debt, you know, from college. You know, they may, you know, they're people who possibly may file for bankruptcy. You know, their credit rating is being hurt because it's so crushing. And yet we got the state of New Jersey talking about, you know, free community college. You know, I don't know what you do to the people who paid for college before, and now you're going to offer free college. You know, maybe there's some way we can do a reset button on them. Because, listen, everything costs money. These expungement programs and second chance programs and all the efforts for illegal immigrants, whether you agree with all that or you don't, that all costs money. And that's funded by you, the people. You know, you got people who are still suffering from the 2008 crash when all the values and 401ks fell apart, and, you know, people were losing their cars and their homes. Their companies went out of business. They were unemployed. You know, they're still trying to rebuild themselves. And they're working hard, but nobody's giving them a reset button. It's like that Staples thing. That was easy. Maybe our legislators should turn around and say, how can we help these people? How can we get everybody a fresh start, per se? You know, you got people right now in danger of losing their homes. Why? Because they can't find employment here in New Jersey. It's crushing debt in New Jersey that we, you know, with the taxes and everything is so freaking expensive. I think we're like #1 in car insurance. Everything is like the most expensive in this nation in New Jersey. People are losing their homes because their companies moved away. Companies went bankrupt. Now they're underemployed, you know, where they were making a certain amount of money raising a family, and now they're making less, and they're doing their damnedest to stay ahead, but they're falling back, and it hits their credit ratings. Is there a reset button we can go to help these people? Because we go out of our way to help everyone else we can, not just Jersey-wise, federally. You know, we give billions of dollars to other countries. When I got seniors, you know, making decisions between medicine and food and, you know, electric. People who lost their jobs, they're underemployed, they're trying to get back on their feet. We're not doing all we can for those people. Their credit scores take a hit, and when your credit scores take a hit, it's almost impossible to get decent lending or a decent apartment. And what fault? Your company went out of business, you know, your employment moved. You know, maybe you were sick. Now, you were in surgery. You had some surgery done, and it was a long-term illness. You were recovering from cancer. You probably have crushing medical bills. If you survive the cancer, you may not survive the medical bills. Is there a reset button we can help those people? You know, people who have committed no crimes against society, who are having issues because of the economy, issues because of how our government runs things. And maybe there's some bad decisions, maybe there weren't. But the people are the ones that suffer. When the market goes bad and the taxation is so high and the economy goes south, it's that average Joe that's getting crushed here. You know, I got seniors whose Medicaid is being cut back, but yet I can fund a bunch of other programs. The seniors paid their dues. You know, you shouldn't have somebody 70 years old, man. You paid your dues. You made 70. You know, you didn't commit any crimes. You should be okay. In my opinion, you should be property tax free. Once you get 70, that's the golden number. But I got seniors trying to figure out how they're going to make ends meet. Now, I'm working with things with the city of Jersey City to try to help seniors. Because I see it. I see it at church. I see it in the streets when I'm talking to these people. They got problems. And my Medicaid was cut back. The prescriptions aren't being covered the same way. Those are the people I need to help. Again, I'm not knocking any other programs. But really, we've got to go to the people who didn't do anything wrong. And they're suffering because of the economy. Things out of their control, they suffer, and it affects their daily lives. It may affect them for the rest of their lives. Like I said, trying to rebuild your credit rating, trying to get back from a foreclosure or a repossession or whatever the case is. Anything the states or the feds can do to help with a reset, we should be doing that. And we just don't seem to recognize that. We come up with money for so many different things, but I got that senior who's, is cutting their pills because they're self-medicating because they can't afford the co-pays on some pills. And some of these prescriptions for the seniors, it's like $300 out of their pocket. They don't have the $300. But the Medicaid's been cut back. Those are the people I need to help. And again, I'm not knocking any other programs or any other people who need assistance. But these, we got to help the people who did nothing, committed no crime, but have suffered because of the economy. Somehow, those are the people I need to help. All right, we're going to break the commercial. You're watching the Hudson County Show. I'll be right back.
Introducing the MyJCMC app, powered by Practice Unite. The free MyJCMC app puts the power of healthcare at your fingertips. Go to the concierge for access to referrals, scheduling, and appointments, see emergency room wait times, and get directions to Jersey City Medical Center health locations. Read the latest JCMC news through their social media feed, find a doctor, and more. The MyJCMC app. We belong to you.
It takes more than a state-of-the-art medical facility to make a great hospital. It takes a team of dedicated medical professionals. That's the Jersey City Medical Center, Hudson County's #1 hospital. Medical teams consisting of New Jersey's top doctors, Magnet Award-winning nurses, and accomplished hospital associates, all committed to your good health. That's what you have at the Jersey City Medical Center. Make Hudson County's #1 hospital your first choice. Visit us on the web at barnabashealth.org.
We're back. You're watching the Hudson County Show, and now our special guest today is a candidate for mayor in the fine town of Bayonne, the home of Uncle Milty's, showing my age there a little bit. My buddy, Jason O'Donnell, the former assemblyman. Jay, how you doing?
Good, Pat. How you doing?
All right, I'm here. I'm covering your campaign. You got, 6 weeks?
42 days. 41 days, actually.
What you feel on the campaign trail? How's the vibes coming back to you?
You know what, Pat, the response from the residents has been incredible, not only for me, but for the members of my team. The people of Bayonne want change. The people of Bayonne want people in office that care about their issues, whether it be potholes or parking, but really taxes.
Tell you what, let's run the names down of your ticket before you and I get into the issues of the campaign. Take it from the top with what is it, Ward A? Is that how our wards are numbered, but in the first ward we have an incredible candidate, Sharma Montgomery. Excuse me. Sharma's an Air Force veteran, a mom of two. In the second ward, we have a local business proprietor, owns a tavern restaurant, Cool's Tavern, Kevin Cool. And in the third ward, another veteran, Matt Klemansky, tremendous guy. We have two at-large candidates. In Dan Ward, he's a career educator, currently the history director or social studies director for the Bayonne School District, and Melissa Enriquez Rada. Melissa has multiple professions, but more importantly, Melissa's charitable endeavors are just too long to list right now. How did you go about recruiting these individuals for your ticket?
Well, Pat, as you know, politics is an ugly game in Hudson County, so I needed people that could stand to it. But I also, the number one criteria, Pat, were people that had empathy, empathy for other people's plight. I'm about public service, as are they, not self-service. And the fact of the matter is, these folks, through their actions and their history and what they've done and accomplished, it said to me that they're going to care about the people. They're going to care about the issues that people have, no matter who they are. So that was really the criteria. And then we went out looking. We interviewed some people, but I was blessed to have such quality people sign on and run alongside me.
Well, you've always been constituent-minded. Back in your assembly days, when we had a problem with a senior citizen, I remember one's coming back to me now about a blind individual that was getting kicked out of her home, as I recall, that you stepped in. Anytime I ever called you about senior issues or the disabled, you were right on top of it. So I figured that's one of the tentpoles of your campaign, constituent services.
Yeah, no question, Pat. I mean, and that's the primary function of government. Let's be honest. We're here. We're a town of 65,000. We're a peninsula. We've always had a can-do spirit. We've always taken care of our own. I was born and raised here, and that really has been ingrained in me. But that's the role of government, to take care of the people that you serve.
I'm not sure everybody shares that opinion of yours. That may get lost in the sources, we used to say here in Jersey City. But if you look at your successful mayors, Brian Stack, Nicholas Sacco, they're first and foremost all about constituent services, all about the basic services of the city. You know, you're going to see the curbs are painted, the senior citizens have senior centers. There are no potholes in North Bergen or Union City. It's all about constituent services, all about the basic city services. And that's what makes these guys legends here in Hudson County. Now,
and going the extra mile for people.
Both of those guys. Remember the commercial with the hole in the, what bank was that? Used to talk about the guy would have his feet up on a desk. There was a hole in the shoe because that bank went the extra mile.
It was so cheap.
That might have been Mid-Atlantic Bank or something like that. But that's those two guys. So if you're going to be a successful mayor, just pattern yourself after that. City services, when you're hiring directors, just recently, a petition, I think yesterday, was enforced by the courts for residency for a city job. Where are you on that? Because I think that's important. People who serve the city live in the city.
I couldn't agree more, Pat. You know, and not to cast aspersions on anybody, but if you want to work in those capacities, you should live here. I was happy that the court saw it that way, and we'll see what happens. But no, any member of any director, anybody that will work in my administration in that capacity, will live and reside in the city of Bayonne, and be here full time amongst the people that they serve. And that's the way it should be. That's the way it always was, and that's the way it will be under my administration.
Now, bringing up another iconic mayor in Hudson County, Stephen Fulop, one of the first things he instituted in Jersey City when he became the mayor was the directors and everybody involved in City Hall was going to have to live in Jersey City.
Oh, look, I support that. He's exactly right. You know, those jobs are not 9 to 5. Those jobs are around the clock, 7 days a week. You're needed when the people need you. And if you live 60 miles out to the west or 50 miles up to the north or 40 miles down to the south, you're not here. I expect a lot for the people that work for me, and I will expect a lot. So that is something that I'm glad hopefully is behind us. But I can assure you, if the current administration appeals, it won't matter when we get there, because we will take the necessary measures to ensure that our directors work here and live here in the city of Bayonne.
I know with Mayor Fulop, his opinion was he wanted the residents of Jersey City to be able to run into his directors on the sidewalks, in the streets, at the theater, and ask them questions and bring problems to them directly. And you can't do that if you're living in, Woodbridge somewhere.
No, listen, it's accountability too, Pat. I mean, I do my shopping locally here in Bayonne, whether it's ShopRite or Stop and Shop, or, and that's a great opportunity for me to hear from my constituents. And again, if you're a director, that keeps your finger on the pulse of what's going on and makes you accessible to the public that are paying your salary.
Now, before we break for commercial, aren't you a former employee of ShopRite, a bagger at ShopRite?
I did. My career began in high school at ShopRite. I worked in grocery, clean up in aisle 5. That was my specialty. I bagged, and I got promoted up to the dairy department. Yep.
Well, at that one time, I worked for Singer ShopRite, and it was clean up in aisle 6. That was the pickle aisle, and it was always disasters in the pickle aisle. That would go up, clean up aisle 6, and I would respond. And I was a bagger. It was like playing Tetris, bagging all the time. But we're going to break for commercial. We're going to come back with Jason O'Donnell. We're going to hit some of the hard topics. You're watching the Hudson County Show. We'll be right back.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers the quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport. Live like you want.
Pan & Pinto Properties, Jersey City. Shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces that address your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment. Adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panandpintoproperties.com. Pan & Pinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
We're back. You're watching the Hudson County Show. Pat O'Melia here. Let's bring back our guest, the former assemblyman from Bayonne, Jay O'Donnell. He is the candidate for mayor now. Before we get in, I want to talk about redevelopment and the development that's going on in Bayonne. But I got to talk about the debate first. There is a debate scheduled for April the 26th, 7 o'clock on these very same networks we're on right now. Live stream, Facebook, YouTube, Roku system, Apple TV, all them, plus Optimum. There is an issue. I'm not saying right now that the incumbent, Jimmy Davis, is not going to be part of this debate, but there are some issues with him attending. You've already confirmed that you will be there, and that debate will happen. Now, recently, I put an ad in the paper announcing the date, save the date, and that started all this commotion, allegedly about Team Davis not knowing about the debate. Can we put up the Facebook post, please? I think you've seen this, Jay?
Yes.
This Facebook posting is basically alleging that I was in collusion with Jay O'Donnell about this date for April the 26th. Plus, the mayor's team here is actually asking other media members that, they would be willing to do a debate on April the 26th. But here's your problem. We could drop that now. Hopefully, enough time for everybody to read that. You think that's enough time? But here's the problem with Team Davis. I had sent texts to Mayor Davis, texts to Assemblyman Nick Chevalotti, had discussions with Nick Chevalotti over this debate. There was no surprise that we had a debate set up. I first started on this in January the 23rd. I set the date February the 24th. I text you and Jimmy Davis. And Jimmy Davis didn't get back. You were getting back to me, and I had conversations with Chevalotti over the debate. And here we are. I'm not sure if the mayor will be here, but I kind of feel that he will be because this is the only debate. I think it's the only debate arranged right now anyway.
Right now, yes. The only thing that's in concrete.
You got it. The only one that's live is concrete. The only one that is going to be live and in the living rooms of all the people who are interested in Bayonne. It is available to everyone. You don't have to go to some BFW hall or an auditorium. You can watch at the comfort of your home. And you can even comment on Facebook and Twitter, and I'll moderate this. I'll use some of their questions. I can't make it more transparent and open for the people of Bayonne than I have. What is your opinion of this live debate, Mr. J?
So Pat, when you reached out back in January, and obviously I got right back to you, and our stance has been very clear. Anywhere, anytime, any format. The issues that face Bayonne are far too important to not at least hear what all of the candidates have to say about it. You reached out in January, and I said, absolutely. I remember we had spoken shortly thereafter, and I thought that the mayor was in agreement. Pat, I don't know what happened since then. We subsequently called for 3 live debates here in the city of Bayonne. We have 3 wards. We thought it would be good to have a debate in each ward. We received a Facebook post, or we saw a Facebook post from my opponent's team, and it outlined rules and regulations and topics that could be discussed. But yet we have no dates, no times. We followed up with an email last Friday, in which we copied all of the local print media to try and sit down like adults, Pat, in a room, the 3 candidates, the print media, let's get dates, let's get times, let's get places. This isn't a difficult thing to do. I am ready, willing, and able. I don't know why this has become such a difficult task for my opponent.
Well, I think your opponent doesn't want to debate in an open forum where there are no restrictions. On that debate on the 26th, there will be no words put in my mouth, or will be no words taken out of my mouth. All the topics in Bayonne will be on the table. And again, when we're saying live debate, I'm saying live on our streaming networks, and we'll replay it on Optimum. When Jay's talking about live, that's in like auditoriums or in VFW halls. But this is the only
live
one
audience.
that'll be televised live. Hopefully,
Right.
Mr. Davis and his team will be here. He's been in this studio numerous times. I got about 3 minutes. Development in Bayonne. Hopefully, Bayonne
Yes, sir.
learns from the mistakes here in your neighbor, Jersey City. But where are you on development in Bayonne?
Well, it doesn't appear that we've learned from the mistakes. Look, there's been some development here in the city. Development aided with long-term tax abatements, 30-year tax abatements, some 40 of them, Pat. 40 tax abatements that it's a risky proposition. We're now on the hook as partners to these developers. And what we've received on the upfront side is nothing. We haven't created local jobs, no project labor agreements to support our unions, no community benefit agreements to support local organizations, support recreation and things like that. What we have done, though, is really signed off on 30 years of who knows what. And we're seeing the effects of them in Jersey City now. I mean, you're a Jersey City guy, and for 30 years, places like the Heights and Marion and certainly Greenville, they've subsidized this development, and they've paid dearly tax-wise. Now this reval, it looks to be leveling the playing field a bit, but we're entering that phase now, and I'm worried. I'm worried for the residents and the taxpayers of the city of Bayonne because, quite frankly, we can't predict the real estate market, Pat. And if we get a downturn such as we did in 5 and 6 and 2007, what's left for us? We have a whole bunch of folks with redeveloper agreements and pilot agreements, abatements, and we could be in trouble.
My question with development of Bayonne, does Bayonne want to be a town of high-rises, or does it want to be the Bayonne we all know and love? I consider Bayonne a mom-and-pop town. All
Sure,
1-2 family homes. And it was the town, when you became successful in Jersey City, you moved to Bayonne.
You moved to Bayonne. That's what you moved to the suburbs.
You got it.
Yeah,
There was
listen.
no congestion.
No, listen, Pat, and you talk about congestion. We have a traffic problem and parking problem here in the city of Bayonne. And it's not getting any better. But look, I think there's a hybrid that works. We have to change or we'll die. We have to evolve. So there is a hybrid that works. But to propose thousands, Pat, of residential rental properties Not much commercial there. We're supposed to get a Costco. Okay, that's great. I don't know what that's going to do to the local shop, right? The local meat market, the local Stop and Shop. But again, we're getting a Costco. But the fact of the matter is, 5, 6, 7,000 proposed residential rental units. It's going to change Bayonne, and I'm not so sure it changes it for the better.
Well, it's definitely going to cause you a parking problem, traffic problems, overcrowded schools, drains on the city services, unless you get the proper money in return for the development.
Well, and that's the thing. What money has been put in terms of infrastructure on these projects? Look, we've opened these documents, and that's been another saga with this administration and actually getting the documentation. But from what we can ascertain, there isn't a whole heck of a lot dedicated to our infrastructure, which is an aged infrastructure. Now put on all of those units, all of those folks, there's going to be strain on that. And who's going to pay for it? The taxpayers are going to have to pay for it eventually.
All our development
Absolutely.
put a huge strain on our infrastructure, our sewer systems. Now we're paying big money updating our sewer system. All right, but we're out of time. I want to make sure I bring you in a few more times before we get to the debate. I want to make sure I get you enough face time, and I will be offering the same to your opponent, Jimmy Davis.
Absolutely.
I'll see you on the 26th. The podiums are actually set up right now. All right, thank you for your time, Jay. Go out there and
Thanks for having me, Pat. Absolutely.
Later.
Take care.
We're going to break for commercial. We went a little long with Jay O'Donnell. You're watching the Hudson County Show. I'll be right back.
Plaza Auto Body, 700 Tunley Avenue in Jersey City. Your local collision specialist. Body and fender repair. On-site oven-baked paintwork. Fiberglass repair experts. Custom and classic car restoration. All insurance is welcome. 24-hour towing available. Licensed by the state of New Jersey. Plaza Auto Body, 700 Tunley Avenue, 201-222-3050. Plaza Auto Body, your bumper-to-bumper buddy.
Rama Jewelers, located in the Lyndhurst Shopping Center at 413 Valley Brook Avenue, Lyndhurst. Come for all your jeweler needs at Rama Jewelers, where you will find a fine selection of necklaces, earrings, rings, and bracelets. Choose from one of our complete sets, our many signature items, or find the perfect engagement ring. Come on down. That's Rama Jewelers at 413 Valley Brook Ave, Lyndhurst. Call 201-939-5784 or visit us online today.
We're back. You're watching the Hudson County Show. That was our buddy Jason O'Donnell, candidate for mayor in Bayonne. Hopefully, he and Jimmy Davis will go head-to-head on April the 26th. I'll be there. Probably at this desk, I'm not sure. Or that desk over there, but I'll be at some desk. And actually, the more I think about this debate, Jimmy Davis has been in the studio numerous times. He has no reason to fear me as a moderator. He has no reason to fear the studio. Yeah, I realize he doesn't want to answer some of these questions, not that one big gorilla one. But, you want to be in the big chair, you got to answer those big questions. Let's go over to Hoboken. Hoboken, we've covered this before. The New York waterways, they have to find a new repair center for the ferries. And they decided on Hoboken. They've actually had the land. They've worked the deal. Actually, they outworked Hoboken for the land. The old dry dock facility right on the banks of the Hudson there in Hoboken, where for 100 and some odd years, they repaired ships. It was dry dock. You bring the ships in, they repaired them, did whatever maintenance was done, because Hoboken had a pier background in the old days. It wasn't all gentrified as it is now. That piece of land is still there. It is still functioning. I think they were working on ships up until like 10 years ago or something of that nature. It is part of their history. For some reason, Hoboken doesn't want to embrace that history. They would like to embrace their new history of parks. I'm going to tell you now, the last thing Hoboken needs is any more parks. And actually, the parks they build are in like the armpit of Hoboken, and where they build them for the most part are on parking lots. You go to the average person in Hoboken and say, what would you like, a park or a place to park your car? Car. It's a very small town. How many parks do you need? And they always put them on like on the outskirts. You want to enjoy the service of the ferries, the New York waterway. It gives a panache to Hoboken, and it is a viable transportation mode. They need to be able to repair the ferries. And not all of them need a major overhaul. They just got to do some quick repairs, some daily maintenance, weekly maintenance, preventive maintenance, and keep them in the rotation. You don't want these ships falling out of the rotation because then the commute gets longer. There are some people that say, well, we don't want it in Hoboken, and there's no place really in Jersey City. They'd have to go all the way to Bayonne. Well, that's not really feasible if you're running your ferries out of Hoboken. The best place is Hoboken. Like I said, it's zoned for it. The land's there. There wouldn't be a lot of investment, and it would create jobs. And it kind of harkens, it doesn't kind of, it harkens back to Hoboken's past. There isn't much past in Hoboken anymore because they gentrified the hell out of it. The clam broth house is gone. Everything that made Hoboken in the old days is gone. Everything that people think is in Hoboken is gone. Arthur Imperator, he's organizing a campaign, a group of citizens to fight the efforts of Hoboken. Hoboken just voted on $11.6 million to offer for the land. I don't think that's enough of that land. And they want to make a park out of it. Like I said, the last thing they need is more park and the loss of rateables. It is getting to the point where if you're indigenous to Hoboken, you're born and raised in Hoboken, you can't afford to live in Hoboken. It's pretty much what I think Mayor Fulop is starting to realize in Jersey City. Saying, wait a minute here. It's getting a little pricey for the average Jersey City person to live here. So he's taking some steps now. Hoboken is past where we are. It is very expensive to live in Hoboken. And these lots and these parks that they build on the lots, those lots were paying property taxes. They were commercial, and most of them were parking lots that they built on. Now they're trying to get the Academy bus because we want more parkland. But again, you lost all the rateables if you get the Academy. You lose the rateables from the dry dock. You lose the rateables from all the commercial lots that you were putting parks on. And when it comes time to spread out that municipal government, you got less rateables. That means more taxes. What Hoboken needs to do is get behind New York Waterways. It's nice to think, well, we're just parklands and they just okayed the construction of a new hotel near the waterfront. That's okay. Let's put a hotel there. But repair the very ferries that are making Hoboken a desirable location, you know what that? Yeah, you want the benefits of the ferry service. You don't want any of the nuance and responsibility of maintaining this fleet. And it's not like they're going to be ripping these ferries down. It's just daily maintenance. Making sure it's not leaking, changing the oil, making sure the lights work, all that kind of thing. And there's jobs involved in it. And again, it harkens back to the old days of Hoboken. I don't understand why so many people are against it. How much more friggin' parkland do you want? It goes back to Jersey City. There's a possibility of a marina and a golf course expansion that could probably cover the cost of the maintenance and upkeep of Liberty State Park. But, no, I can't do that. You'll block the views. Actually, I heard that in one of the arguments. You'll block the views of New York. You'll see New York. Believe me. Yeah, you can look around the ferry like that. So, I can't see New York. Let me look around the ferry a little bit. You'll be fine. It's not like they're bringing in the Titanic in there. These are little ferries. And Arthur Imperator, New York Waterway. Arthur and I actually have a history. In another life that I had, I used to repair tractor trailers, buy, sell, and repair tractor trailers. And APA was one of my customers. I used to repair trailers for Arthur Imperator. And occasionally you ran across Arthur. And Arthur would give you his opinion. Arthur, he's a trucker. That's exactly what Arthur is. Just forget about the steakhouses, the New York waterways, and the land. He's a smart guy. But the backbone of Arthur Imperator, he's a trucker. He comes from the world of transportation, the same as I do. Just that he moved on and did a lot better than I did. Created an empire there. I agree with Arthur. For that matter, I reached out for Rubenstein. They're handling the efforts to get the ferry terminal there, or maintenance facility, whatever you want to call it, the dry dock. And I'm going to do all I can to help that. Because you need the jobs, you need the transportation, you need the rateables that come out of that. I don't understand sometimes how Hoboken works. It's like a hangover from Zimmer. which is what's going to cause a huge problem politically in Hoboken. Robbie is going to have a very difficult time in Hoboken. It's like Tom DeGeese, again, the rhetoric I talked about before, says, Robbie is basically a POW in Hoboken, and he's really a small cog in the big political picture. And he might be turned out to be one of those casualties unless everybody gets into a room and solves the differences here and moves the HCDO and the county forward. Again, we got to get Bob Menendez reelected. But getting back to Hoboken, you need the ratables, you need the jobs, and I think it would be pretty cool to have the furries there. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Hudson County Show. I'll be right back.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design studio and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
We're back. You're watching the Hudson County Show. Let's find out what kind of activities you got. Let's go to our miscellaneous, which is basically activities on the Hudson County Show. It's the North Bergen Library. Let's see what we got going on. Are we doing library first, or is it Louis first? What are we doing first? Library? It's coming. Don't worry about it. Calm down. Here we go. DEP. All right, forgot about that. It is the trout season. The DEP is sounding good. Because I've been talking to the DEP about Liberty State Park. Trout season starting on what? March 29th, which is today, is it? Well, that's the date of the release. They're talking about reeling in over 100,000 anglers, fishermen, by April the 7th. On Saturday, April the 7th, the season starts. Look at the size of these trouts. Go get yourself some trout. Go down, I guess, well, I don't know where you trout fish in New Jersey. I'm not really a fisherman. But whatever the DEP is sending, I'm going to promote. Again, you can go to their website to get more information. Just go NJDEP. Boom. You can see it all. What else we got? Oh, that's a good-looking trout. There she is. Main Library. It's Conversation Cafe. That's going to be Tuesday at 4:30 to 5:30, and then Thursday 1:30 to 2:30. Then you got the Knitting Club. A lot of people like knitting, and that's going to be Tuesday at 3:30 to 5:30. Then you got the Adult Book Club. I can make a few jokes about that. What else we got? Actually, I'm surprised they got something with books there. Adult programs at the main public library and at the Kennedy branch. This is on till April the 7th. You got to register, and you got your program dates starting anywhere from April the 2nd to June the 9th. Again, North Bergen Free Public Library. Go to the township website. You can get a lot more information on what Ray is doing there. What else we have? All ages. What is this? The Makers Club. This is like all arts and crafts there. And the homework help. Kids need a little help. Need a little additional tutoring there. You got the homework help, and this is after school. Mondays through Thursday, 4 to 6 p.m. Excellent program. This is really a well-run library there in North Bergen. Everything's going on in North Bergen. I'm surprised we actually had a book thing. What else you got? Children's programs for spring 2018. Registration starts. It already started on the 26th. Programs begin April the 2nd. They go right through to June. You're at the main library and at the Kennedy branch. Next. Early childhood programs, 2.5 years to 5 years old. You got pre-K prep. Mini markets, you got it's always things going on. Yeah, really, I can't read everything that goes on at the North Bergen Public Library. Go to the town website, go to the library section, and you're going to see a ton of things. There's always activities at the North Bergen Public Library. Here we go, proof of residency and library card required for registering to all classes. This is grade school and teen programs. Minecraft, chess, video game club. Well, I'd probably join a video game club at one time. The science club. All this at the North Bergen Free Public Library. Again, go to the website, town website. We got to put a big town website web address. What else we have there? What else? Oh, Louis, my buddy Louis Manzo, former assemblyman, personal friend of mine. He has written another book, An Irish Lullaby. This has to do with St. Aloysius on West Side Avenue. It's fictional. This is Lou's, I think, Lou's third book. One was on environmental. One was on Chris Christie. And now the Irish Lullaby. I think I'm going to be running across Louis next week. I haven't seen him in a while. His mom's doing well. I'll find out when the book is on. We'll do an interview with Louis as soon as that. For that matter, I have a pre-copy that I'm supposed to review. I think I got to write a foreword or something like that. I will get it done. There's the website for my man Louis. You could probably pre-order your copy of the Irish Lullaby. All right, what else we got? I got to do some Amazon. Amazon. As I said, if you've been watching the Jersey City show and the Hudson County show all these years, I've talked about Amazon and how eventually the government is going to step in and try to slow down Amazon. That's about to start. Washington, the President of the United States, has issues with Amazon, basically unfair tax practices, their business program, their business philosophy, and he's probably right. Amazon is growing basically unchecked to the point where you probably could go with antitrust with them. You know, there is nothing. Amazon has almost become part of our daily life. You know, you're going to buy something, and you're one of the first places you go now to Amazon. But there's a reason for that. You know, going to the, I like Best Buy, but, the old days looking and going, driving here, trying to find parking and all. You go to Amazon, boom, you're done. What can the government do? Antitrust laws, I don't know if they're going to do RICO on this, but you're talking about antitrust. They're talking about unfair tax advantages for Amazon. You're probably right. They live on the internet. They don't have all the brick and mortar. They do have some, but not a bunch of it. They are destroying the mom and pops. Mom and pop cannot compete with Amazon. Nobody can compete with Amazon. Walmart, Target, none of these guys. They changed the way America shops. There's just no two ways about it. Amazon's my first choice now. But I'll say one thing. If you want something immediately, electronics, you're going to go to Best Buy. Countless businesses are gone due to Amazon. Toys R Us is one of the victims of Amazon, and also bad financing there. We knew eventually the government was going to step in, and they're going to try to put Amazon in place, or at least check their growth. What steps can be taken? I'm not sure. I don't know if they're breaking any laws, but they are just swallowing up the retail business. What suggestions? I'm sure Walmart and Target has some suggestions on what to do to put Amazon in check, but you just got to give Bezos and his group credit. They really changed on how America shops. But do we need protections? I think you got to have some in place on Amazon, or eventually there will be no local retail. There'll be only empty malls. All right, we're out of time. You be good. You be safe. I'll talk to you next week on the Jersey City Show. Good night.